let's do something fun and different. So you came across a cute little coloring page of a bear. You can certainly shade him in the traditional way, but what if you could do this instead? Make him shiny, metallic, and weightless. And guess what? You can right now, today, with the tools that you already have laying around. Let me show you. First, you need to get your hands on a bear page. I drew this one just for our project, and I'm happy to share it for free with everyone. Go grab it, link is in the description. Print him out on something fun, like pink-toned paper, and let's add our white highlights. This is a great time to talk about tools and materials. I get a ton of questions about the paper I work on and how important paper is in general to the overall outcome. I work on cardstock, 60 to 80 pound Recollections cardstock to be exact, and I prefer pale colors like pale peach, light tan, gray, lilac, lavender, and of course, pink. If you want professional results, it all starts with toned paper. Just get some for your studio. It's really easy to come by, it's available in art stores, it's available online, get a bunch, see what colors you like the best. For my white highlights, I'm actually using a white charcoal pencil. If you believe in your basic white pencil, like a Prismacolor white, you can use that instead. But I find that charcoal is just a stronger white pigment overall. If you followed my art for any length of time, you've no doubt seen me use this stuff in stick form. For broader application of white, like for a primer or an infuser, I prefer the stick form. But this metallic effect is all about precision, so I want a super sharp tip on my pencil. To make this bear look 3D, we want to add our white highlights in a way that they curve along the surface of his rounded body parts. Make sure that your pools of white vary in size and shape. At first, try to copy mine as much as possible, but then do it again. This time, trust your gut. There's no exact rule of where these light pools will fall and form and reflect off of one another. The important thing is the ratio of pink to white. By the end of this stage, you want your bear looking like this. Notice that he's mostly pink and maybe 20% white. That's a lot more important than the actual shapes of the white pools. Now for our first color. Pick a basic mid-tone pink that you like. I'm working with Prismacolor pencils, and my first color is simply called pink. That's right. Good job, Prismacolor. Very creative. I'll pop up the names of every single pencil that I use on the screen in case you want to follow my steps exactly. This step with this pink is by far the most important, so spend the most time on it. This is where we make our bear look actually three-dimensional and glossy. We're establishing shape and surface. What we're doing is creating a whole bunch of tiny gradient transitions from pink to white, using our paper color as the mid-tone transition. Make sure to follow the directions of the curve to keep the shape looking truly 3D. I'm a big fan of teaching you guys the why, not just the how. There's an infinite number of objects, colors, and lighting scenarios out there. And while I enjoy getting your requests, such as, can you teach us gold embroidery on purple fabric? Or can you show how to color a copper antelope? And those are all fascinating. The truth of the matter is, if I were to teach every single one of them, I would spend infinite eternities covering every single topic. I know you guys have your own projects and desires, and this is why I teach you skills that you can apply to anything. After completing this bear tutorial, you'll be able to color other simple animal illustrations in this 3D metallic effect. But what about other effects and other subjects? This is why I built my academy. It's easy to draw. Yep, same name as the channel. Super easy to remember, it's easy to draw. If you want to truly become a colored pencil ninja, applying any effect to any coloring page, start with my flagship course, How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro. It's free to join the academy, and all of my courses have free preview lessons. So you have nothing to lose, only new skills to gain. Follow the link on the screen and join the academy. You want to apply your pink color generously and make sure to never ever press hard on the page. One of the things I teach in my courses is how to layer colored pencil pigments without damaging the page or locking yourself out of adding more colors later on. Color gently and with many confident strokes. This is also a great way to achieve smooth and natural professional gradient transitions like we're getting right here. There's one important element on this bear that I need to bring your attention to, and that's this shape right here. While all other white and pink areas are kind of a free-for-all on this composition, this one part right here is extremely important to get just right. This is the actual reflection of our heart-shaped balloon. And it's one of those tiny details that will ultimately sell the illusion of a metallic balloon surface. Ultimately, we want to show off the color, the shape, and the surface of this object. This is a pink, 3D, metallic balloon bear. Color is easy. We're still working with pink. Shape? Well, that's what we're building right now without curves and gradients. Surface, though, that's the tricky bit. That requires planning all of the above, careful execution, and just how many light spills there are in the end. Take this illustration, for instance, and there will be a separate video on this, I promise, if it's not out already. These are basically all the same colors. We have a pink and a red shiny surface, just like the bear and the balloon, but clearly these lips and the cherry are not actually metallic, yet the bear is. So what sorcery is this? How do we convey surface texture? How do we convey material? Here's the secret of the trade. Before moving on to your next, even stronger pink color, take a moment to smooth out the texture with your white pencil. I know, it will water things down a little bit, but look at the trade-off. Look at how smooth the surface is. It's like silk. And by the way, we're using an actual white colored pencil right now. I'm using my Prismacolor, not the white charcoal. White charcoal won't lay over wax pencils. Now we can go truly vibrant. Pick a bright magenta color from your colored pencil set, and let's really up the 3D look. Add this color to all the areas that are already the brightest and the strongest. What we're doing now is creating sharp gradients. The sharper the gradient, the more metallic your object will look in the end. I teach gradients, shading techniques, color selection, and all of the color theory, in fact, in my Pencils Pro course. And then we move on to color combos and practicing on beautiful hand-drawn coloring pages. That course will give you an adrenaline injection of university-level knowledge of color and colored pencils as a medium. But if you specifically love metallic effects, you want to join the Metallic Effects Masterclass. That course is a monster of knowledge and practice material. I teach every imaginable metal in full detail there. We do effects like rust, grime, oxidation, scratches and scruffs, and practice on various beautiful coloring pages. At the end of Metallic Effects Masterclass, you will produce this incredible work of art, and I know you will because hundreds of my other students already have. Okay, so we have color and shape. Now for the metallic part. We add gray. Dark gray, preferably cool dark gray. I know it's crazy, gray and pink, they rarely go together on the same composition, on the same layer, but trust me, metallics are different. We need to tighten up our gradients even more at this point. Add the dark gray to the same areas with the strong color saturation. If you've been using too much pressure, mushing the page to get that stronger effect quicker, you will feel the pain now. If you rushed it, pushed it, pressed it, you probably locked yourself out of being able to add this gray. I hope that didn't happen, but if it did, it's not the end of the world. The best way to learn is to feel these effects. Get a physical feel for what works and how far you can push certain techniques. That's why daily practice is so important. That's how I learned all these effects that I now teach you. Get in the habit of coloring gently, but confidently. At this point, you may want to bring in other colors for eyes, cheeks, and nose. I went with basic red. And for the most important part of a metallic effect, we want to bring in solid black. It's never fully metal without black. Don't fear it. If you followed my steps exactly, this should be a breeze. The rule of thumb here is add black to the areas that are already the darkest. These gradients are getting tighter and tighter. You may want to practice sharp and smooth gradient shading on scrap paper first. And how to use colored pencils like a pro, there are multiple guided lessons on the subject. Ooh, looking so good. Now let's do the heart balloon. This is a much simpler shape, so we can go much faster. In fact, we only need 4 steps here. White, red, darker red, and black. All the same shading and layering principles apply here as we already practiced on the bear. Now that you know which colors you're using on the heart, make sure to add the same main color to the reflection here. I'm using my main red. Oh, and by the way, if you want to view the full 2.5-hour recording of this project, I put it up for all of my channel members. This way you have a video reference for literally every stroke that I made on this coloring. in case you want to replicate it exactly. You can see now how you can add any color in the universe to something like this. For instance, how would you make this heart in purple? White highlights, lilac, deeper purple, 2 or 3 variants of it, and then black. And that's it. The same exact formula applies to all colors. Consider coloring this bear in other pigments and on other type of paper. Now that we're in the final detail and cleanup stage, you may want to go over your white highlights with a white pencil, or even bring in a white gel pen. I like adding a handful of tiny little white reflections over pools of vibrant color, like so. Oh, and speaking of painting your bear different colors, if you want to try gold, check out this video on realistic gold effects. And of course, make sure to enroll in Metallic Effects Masterclass. And don't be a stranger. The Academy has a very friendly community. Make sure to pop in, share your work, ask questions, mingle, chat with me directly. I'm here to help you become the artist that you've always wanted to be. But you have to do the work. You have to put in the practice time.